Hello, hello, and welcome back. For those who are coming back, and if it's your very first time, karibu, karibu. That is welcome.
Karibu
Welcome
sana.
to today's podcast. Welcome to Love for Learning podcast. Yay!
Yes. And you can get your merchandise by
Yeah,
the
we actually have merchandise. So, this is Anne Muturi and
This is Shadrach Nabongo.
Shadrach Nabongo.
Nabongo, yes.
Yes, and we have been doing a series on emotional intelligence. So the first episode we just touched on what is emotional intelligence, how can we improve our relationship by being more emotionally intelligent. The last episode we talked about what are these past childhood traumas or shadows or environments that we grew up in that influences us and our emotional intelligence subconsciously. And today we are going to talk about the thing people have been, I feel like at least in our country, Kenya, so far, we've been doing a lot of Gen Z these
I think
days.
it's a wide world thing by the
Oh, it's just okay, me, I know I've had it a lot here. Oh, Gen Z's, yeah.
Watu wanataka kutufuta kazi.
Kidogo tu. So what we want to talk about today is how does emotional intelligence differ among generations? Yeah? And also, how then do we relate to people who we are not in the same generation with? Like, me, I want to quit my job because you're not giving me time for personal space and to breathe.
You
and
must
not
be a Gen Z.
accepting my mental health. Yeah? So as a millennial or as a boomer in the workplace, what are you supposed to do about it? You know? How do we relate to such people? Yeah? So
Yes.
so I want Shadi to start by telling us how does emotional intelligence look like for a Gen Z?
I'm very proud to be a Gen Z by the way.
Hey, sorry,
And
very proud.
for us Gen
Humble yourself
Zs,
before the Lord, sorry.
and will uplift me.
Yes.
So Gen Zs, we are of course technology oriented. We are quite agile. You know, we don't like processes, procedure and stuff. We communicate our minds. I mean, if something hurts us, we blast it on the head right there.
Then. Hey.
We tend to communicate our issues. If I want probably a salary raise,
You say.
I say
Whether you deserve it or not, you say. What else?
okay,
So
I'm deserving of it.
workplace, yes,
That is in the workplace. Yes. In school, we tend to talk to our lecturers because
Yes.
we are eager to learn, we are eager to know. And of course, we are not afraid, as I said, we are not afraid to ask questions. Like, it's not like, it is like this, it's like this. No, we'll ask, by the way, why not this?
Yes,
Why
yes.
just
You
this?
question the
We
status
question,
quo.
yes, we question the status quo. And I think that's why other generations are having problems with Gen Zs because of our boldness to question status quo.
Okay.
Yes.
That's Gen Zs. I'm going to talk about millennials and boomers. So they are similar but not the same. So first of all, let's start by saying what the generations look like. So currently we have Gen
Is it
Beta.
beta?
Yeah,
Yes,
actually
beta.
starting up in, is it this year?
2025.
2025. We have any child born this year, you're a Gen Beta. And then from 2024 to 2012, we
Yes.
have
Backtracking.
No.
Gen Alpha.
No.
2012.
Not to 2012.
2010.
Oh, to 2012, actually, you're right.
Yes,
you're
yes.
right. To 2012, we have Gen Alpha. Then from 2012 to
You backtrack to 1997.
1997, we have the Gen Z, Sakina Shadi.
Yes.
And then from there, we have, so any 28 year, so that is from 27-year-old to 12-year-old, those are the Gen Zs.
Yes.
So 28-year-olds to 43-year-olds are
X.
Gen X.
Yes,
No.
Gen X.
Yes, Gen X.
Yes,
Gen
Gen
X. And then after Gen X, now those years, I don't even know how they look like. But after Gen X, we have the boomer. No, we've talked about millennials. Yes, Gen Ys are the millennials. Then we have Gen X.
The boomers.
Gen X. And then after Gen X, we have the boomers. Then past that, we have something called
the forgotten generation.
Yeah,
No,
or the
silent generation.
Exactly, silent generation.
Yes.
So for the millennials, they are, and okay, let me start with the boomers. The boomers are they are the yes kind of people. You tell them to do something, give them the direction, do it. No questions asked. Because they grew up in a place where they had to be told and had to follow without questioning things.
Yes.
So they grew up without questioning things. They're very easy to take just information without necessarily processing or questioning it. I think even in the Kenyan government, when the finance bill came out, them they were being oppressed, but they're okay being oppressed in silence.
But Gen Zs,
they don't understand. What do you mean?
We're being oppressed.
Housing levy? Why have you raised it? Why? Where is it going to?
And we had to raise our voices.
Yes.
Thank God we had.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of that. Then they're very value based. Like they do work. Like the effect is they are value driven. Actually, that's the word. They're value driven. They really want to there's an end goal to things. So you'll see them investing for very many years, or buying a house and paying mortgages for how many years after that, because it ends up having a value. Millennials as well, also known to be value based, but them also, they had some experience with technology. They grew up with technology, so they're very technology averse, very adaptable to situations. Millennials now, they're very adaptable to situations. What else did we say about them? They also value personal development a lot. They'll do things for the point of growing themselves. You see, they're the ones who study until PhD levels and do what, all that.
I think Gen Zs are an upgrade of that, except education.
Except, them, they want to go their own way. They want to charter their own path.
Yes.
Anyway, so that is how it looks like. Most of it, I think we've talked about in the corporate world, and even I think parenting or in the family, these things would look very similar. So now my question is, then how do we find a way of merging the two? How do we find a way of being able to coexist together across different generations? Because in the house, your parents are not from the same generation as you. In the workplace, your colleagues are probably not the same. Your bosses or your superiors are not. Or when you go to church, how do you even interact with these people around you?
First of all, as I know the world is having a problem with Gen Zs.
Why? No, because of them just doing their own thing.
Yes, we just do our own things. You know, we don't like writing emails to our bosses.
And making it official.
We just send a WhatsApp text. It's enough.
Like, I won't show up to work today. I'm not feeling well. No, my mental health is suffering.
Is suffering, so I need to recover
time.
and of course to.
Yeah.
So we seek to be understood because the problem is misunderstanding. And of course, now should I say miscommunication? Because the way we communicate is not the way other generations expect us to talk to them or something.
So then one of it would be communication.
Yes, communication.
Being able
Open communication. Open communication.
From both sides, actually. Us as Gen Zs, we need to understand that there's a certain way of doing things. Like, yes, probably it's not necessarily the best, but we need to accept that this is the way they've been done. And even as we're bringing change, I feel like bring it gradually. See, you're told that if you want to ask for a leave, you need to fill in a form
and do all those things. Signatures, so it becomes a hard thing.
Yes.
So we should seek that a common ground of communication where you say, by the way, we expect, and of course, use of mentorship, but not a generation mentoring another generation fully.
Yeah.
But it should be intergenerational, so that you've called boomers, millennials, Gen X, and of course, together with Gen Zs. And of course, Gen Alpha is rising up.
Yes,
we need to take care of them.
I think also, even as we're doing the open communication, we need to have, like you're saying, mentorship or coaching amongst generations. That helps, because when Gen Z is being coached, or they're shadowing someone, for instance, even in the workplace, they're shadowing someone in what they do, it gives an environment where the millennial or the boomer is giving leadership to the Gen Z, and the Gen Z gets also opportunities to ask questions. And this is able to, because the Gen Z wants their questions to be answered, the millennial wants to exert leadership. So both of them and
I think the problem comes in the questioning part of it, because if you question things, people are the problem. If I question you, I have an issue. And I think that's why so many companies or organizations are right now wanafuta Gen Z makazi sana.
Ama Gen Z wana resign.
Ama Gen Zs, of course, they are resigning themselves because as Gen Zs we feel misunderstood, but also other generations feel like these guys are quite disrespectful. How comes they do things this way?
Yeah.
They are underperforming and stuff. But that should not be the case. We should be accepted.
Yeah.
Because in the next years, by the way, the other day, I was just surprised that my friend is a CEO. A Gen Z.
Oh yes, actually, that is.
So Gen Zs,
yes,
they are coming up. In fact, the world workforce is going to be constituted by Gen Zs.
Yes.
Like by 30%, the next 4 or 5 years, 30% of it. So we should not be neglected. We should not be forced, of course, maybe to resign, ama tufutwe kazi. We should be approached with care, but also Gen Zs should accept help that is coming from other generations. Yes.
I think it needs to be two-way. So something interesting I actually got to see the other day is so the best way to be able to reach these various generations, just allow me to read. So for the silent generation, they want face-to-face communication. You want to reach them, you want them to understand you.
No,
talk
they
to
are
them
very
face to
calm,
face.
they are collected.
Exactly. Ati don't, ati
They are
want.
bukas.
Yes, don't want that in social media. You want them to be like, no, face to face. The boomers bring them challenges to solve. The problem solving is a way in which you can be able to bridge the gap between the two of them.
Those are our mothers,
No,
our parents. Still
yeah,
our
yeah,
gukas.
yeah, yeah. No, around our parents, or depending on how old your parents are, but it is 64. The last one is 64, so it's like 19
Or
something
64
to
upwards.
64 upwards. Yeah. So give them challenges to solve. It's a way in which you can be able to bridge the gap.
The
If you're
gap,
going
yes,
to them, go with problems. Gen X, they would like you to reach them with empathy. They are more of the empathy and flexibility. They're more flexible and empathetic. So if you have things that either bring out that aspect in them, or you come with the empathy, it's a good way to bridge the gap. For millennials, they take a lot of pride in their leadership. So embrace their leadership. Embrace, accept, also encourage their creativity, and they have a lot of courage in the things that they do. Also encourage that as well. For Gen Zs, like they are very curious people. So even for you, be open to receiving their questions, receiving their curiosity, and them ask, but then also be an active listener. Listen to them. Yes.
Gen Zs are advocates.
Yeah, hey, they will stand up for not just their rights, but the
Yes,
rights of
yes.
anyone else
Okay,
around
yes,
who,
yes.
who they feel like.
If I see anyone suffering, I'm like, why?
Yes.
Why did you do that? So
Absolutely.
yes.
So I think yes, I think those some of the things that will help us be able to bridge the gap. Be conscious and be aware that your way is not necessarily the highway. Like you open to compromising. I think that's the word.
That's the word. Yeah,
Yes,
compromising.
Compromise.
is
Be
hard.
willing to hear from them and also compromise a bit. So
Because it's also a part of emotional intelligence. When you're
Yes.
able to sit
Yes.
down, listen, try to get their perspective,
Yeah.
then compromise to come to a common ground, it's a better thing. It's a better thing.
That is so true. I think even with our parents, it's the same thing. The other day I was listening to something where we were being told the Gen Zs nowadays, shouting at them doesn't work. Before, for the millennials, shout.
Yes.
You
That
know
one was
is
okay.
when things need to be. Others not. You
But
don't
right
even need
now,
to
that's
talk.
not okay.
Sometimes ni macho tu.
Ni macho tu
You're
unaangalia
just
hivi
given some
unasema,
eyes and you're like, kwisha. But the Gen Zs, they'll be like, okay, so you're shouting, then what?
Kwanza umeniangalia hivyo,
I know.
what does it even
So
mean?
what do you want me to do about it? But I think that's why for them active listening and being able to have open communication challenge. They're the ones who will ask you something outrightly, and for them they expect the same thing.
So Gen Zs don't want to be dealt with assumptions.
Don't assume. Why are you assuming? Come and ask. So I think even such examples of even how to deal with things in the family and in the home, even in the workplace, would really go a long way if you were able to be more emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
Yes. So parting shot.
I think with the whole research that has been done, it's crystal clear that in the world that we are living in right now, and also for the future, it demands us to upgrade our emotional intelligence and our empathy, because for the gap to be eradicated or to be dealt with or to be bridged, we need to have empathy, and of course embracing that open communication, but also collaboration with different generations.
I agree. And then I think above all, the Bible has really set the standard as to what treating others or how to treat others should look like. Not our standard, but Christ's standard. In 1 Corinthians 13, he really talks about love and what love looks like. Let me see if I can remember. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not self-seeking, it keeps no record of wrong. And other things. Yes. That's as much as I can remember. But like, if you are able to look at Christ as the standard of love, as the standard of relating with even other people
of all generations.
Yes, of all generations, or people who are not like you. Because even in generations, you can say it's easier to understand Gen Zs instead of understanding, like, as opposed as it is to understanding Gen Ys. But we need to be willing to take the extra mile to do so. Jesus went out, reached out to the tax collector, the Samaritan woman, the people with leprosy. Like, did he heal? Yeah, he healed. Yes. Like, there are so many people. He went across the bridge and reached out,
And
to,
reach out
them.
to them.
So I think even for us, we need to take that upon ourselves as believers and just ask the Lord to strengthen us to be able to do that.
And it will demand boldness.
Yes.
Because even in that, what Jesus was doing, he was like challenging the status quo. People were like, what are you doing, man?
He was very
How can
radical.
you do this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that is it from us today. As usual, like, subscribe, hit the red button. Just
Yes.
subscribe. Let us know also your thoughts down below. Are you a Gen Z? Are you a Gen S? But it would be good to know who
we are
our
dealing with.
audience is.
Yes.
Tell us down below. And also, let us know what kind of challenges have you experienced in dealing with our generations? Do you think you are the one who is right or they are right?
Especially in workplaces.
Yes.
And of course, family relationships. Yes.
Yeah, so that is it from us.
Keep learning. Whatever happens, keep learning.
Keep learning. So God bless you. Until next time. Baraka.
Tell it.
Bye.